We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Ready to go? Fun show coming up. Everyone stay calm. Watch your language. No cursing again. Big show coming up with the Moose, Paulie and Mark Malusis, Paul Stone, Conference USA. We roll on with the previews. Geltzeiler on the NBA. The schedule's out today. We have numbers, opening night, the Christmas slate as well. What's going on with the Kawhi Leonard story? The King of the North, Derek Stevens in studio. We have to get him in the card collecting business. He could corner the market after someone pulled the Cooper Flag card, which is going for $5 million. He has more money than Kevin O'Leary. We'll talk to Derek Stevens about the contest and what's going on. Rio LaFugazi with the Moose as well, and Ralph Vacchiano from Fox Sports to talk NFC East, and if the hype with Hurts is real. So far, so good in practice. A ton of NFL news and a lot of movement in the preseason. I got trends coming out of my ears. How you doing, Moose?
Good, Paulie. Good to be back with you on a Tuesday. I'm looking forward to it. Big news in Minnesota. A lot of football. We're inching closer and closer here through the month of August to the start of the NFL regular season.
Okay, Jordan Love will play, although I don't know who he's going to throw to on Thursday. So Green Bay now favored against Pittsburgh. Once we get to the game day on Thursday, I got some money quotes from McCarthy about installing the new offense and how it's been an issue in practice. So you have that news with Love. Colts and Browns are now favored. I know Humans on the morning show made the case for the Browns. We talked about it yesterday, a plethora of injuries, cluster injuries with the Bears on defense. It is Anthony Richardson getting the start for the Colts. You got the quarterback battle there with the backup to Danny Dimes with Richardson and also Riley Leonard. They're now favored. Drake May will not play. There's 3 at DraftKings on that game. Browns favored as well. Quarterback battle with not only the starters but the backups and what's going on there. Jacksonville won't play the starters, and Burrow and the starters will play. We'll see how long. And they are a 7.5-point favorite now against Detroit. We mentioned that yesterday, that it opened 3.5 because it's Luke Altmaier, the undrafted rookie out of Illinois, starting for the Lions. And also Brissett and the starters will go for Arizona against the Raiders. They are now favored. But Moose, they're probably only going to go a series. That's a lot of info, but a lot happening here in the last couple hours with what some coaches are announcing.
Yeah, for sure. And the question then you have is, how long are they going to go? You hint upon it right at the end there, Paulie. It's good to see a little bit of clarity in terms of who's playing, who's not playing. And then you have to look at the motivation when you're looking at, and we discussed Anthony Richardson, who's dealing with the eye issue, coming off the injury from a year ago as he's battling Riley Leonard. And then it's the motivation, right? We discussed Will Levis down in Tennessee, quarterback battle for the backup behind Cam Ward with Mitch Trubisky, right? What's the motivation? And the guys that are playing in terms of the starters, how long are they going to give it a go? So that all factors in here, because sometimes when these games are decided, especially in the preseason, it's decided more so in the second half than it is in half number 1.
Glad you mentioned that Tennessee game as well. They're up to 4.5 against the Niners. Niners dealing with so many injuries and the great battle between Levis and Trubisky, as you mentioned as well. We finally have the official update in Minnesota. Kyler Murray named the starting quarterback. No quarterback controversy. He beats out McCarthy. This is the 4th different Week 1 starter for the Vikings in the last 4 years. Not a surprise here. Again, he's still owed $30 million from Arizona, so he comes in on a team-friendly contract. I'm excited, and I think the fact that they won so many games last year with that motley crew at quarterback, what they had to deal with, and now you get a proven guy and former number 1 overall pick with Murray. I'm excited for the Vikings. Can they stay healthy? What do you think of Minnesota, Moose, in that total 8.5?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, listen, I think if you look at everything that Minnesota does have, Paulie, defensively, and obviously they have a lot of talent at the wide receiver position. The question is, could they go out there and get solid quarterback play at the most important position in all professional sports? And you look at Murray, and listen, he's not a perfect solution because we saw the good and the bad of Kyler Murray out there in Arizona as well. But what you saw from J.J. McCarthy a year ago and what you've seen in his really limited amount of starts in the National Football League is that he can't get his playmakers the football. I mean, that's the big time key. When you've got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, you got to go out there and find a way to get him the football, make tight window throws. And J.J. McCarthy showed the ability to hold on to the football, and he couldn't release it, couldn't get rid of it. I think when you look at Kyler Murray, I think you might get the best version of him. You really have with the quarterback whisperer and Kevin O'Connell out there in Minnesota. I don't think there's any doubt about it. He goes back there. He puts himself in a position to go out there and be successful. Maybe we get the best version of Kyler Murray, but not surprising because he was the odds-on favorite to beat out McCarthy based on what we have seen from JJ so far.
What do we do with him now? And you mentioned Richardson.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the same career path they've had. Injuries, missed time, ineffective, not accurate, and riding the pine. And then who knows what's next?
Yeah, it's interesting when you look at both players. It's kind of a dichotomy when, you look at Anthony Richardson as physically gifted, an athlete you'll see at the position as there is in the NFL. The question you have is, can he play quarterback, right? The issue with McCarthy is more about the decision-making than anything else, right? Is the game slowed down for him? So, Would there be a team that'd be willing to gamble on a J.J. McCarthy? Would there be a team willing to gamble on Anthony Richardson? We do know this. Nobody wanted to trade for Anthony Richardson because he wanted out of Indianapolis, and people said thanks but no thanks.
Yeah.
And he's still in there battling Riley Leonard for the backup quarterback spot with the Indianapolis Colts. So I think leadership issues with Richardson. I don't think there's leadership issues with J.J. McCarthy. I think it's more of a talent issue when you're looking at J.J. And was he necessarily just a product of the system, what you saw from him collegiately in Michigan?
This division's wide open. We'll hear from the voice of the Vikings, Paul Allen, coming up. But this is anti-Minnesota take. John Jastrzemski on Money Moves. Now with the news with Murray being the starter, wants the Vikings win total under.
I think you're going to have a lot of people talking themselves into the Minnesota Vikings as a playoff team this year. I think they're going to buy on that Brian Flores defense. They're going to buy on the coaching staff. They're just going to look at, hey, they went 9-8 last year and they had no semblance of quarterback play. If it's just a smidge better, can't that get you to 10? Can't you get to 11? There's a case to be made for that. I, for one, am not going to make that case. You want to know why I'm not going to make that case? It's pretty simple. I'm out of the Kyler Murray business. Been there, done that, way too much PTSD. That is why I will be sitting on the sidelines and I will have absolutely no liability one way or another for an over-under on the Minnesota Vikings. But for what it's worth, if I had to make a play in a very loaded, very tough division, I lean towards the under at 8.5 wins.
Detroit very popular because of the easy schedule, but also he kind of made the case for the over, though, that they won 9 games and there were so many, and the quarterback play was so poor, but not a fan of Murray. Here's the opposite opinion. I agree with this, though, too, but Paul Allen, voice of the Vikings, was on VSiN by the Books with Jensen and Super Dave Ross earlier today. He said this division is wide open.
Maybe 12 to get it, but probably 11. It's a meat grinder. The Lions get that 4th place schedule the Bears had last year. Now the Bears get the 1st place schedule the Lions had last year. Every team in this division can win the division. The Vikings, they ran second last in the division last year, but were a covered kick on Devin Duvernay away from sweeping the Bears. They swept the Lions. They beat Green Bay 1 out of 2 times. That one of the common threads in the NFC North now in training camp, and hopefully the Vikings can continue to stay healthy. But teams are taking injuries, like Luther Burden for the Chicago Bears. He's going to miss some time. Their prize free agent signing, Kobe Bryant, a defensive back. He's not going to start the season. Micah Parsons for the Packers. He'll miss at least the first 4. The Lions have dealt with some injuries. So the Vikings have been healthy so far. That's going to be a major key in the division. The Vikings will win their first game. They'll beat Green Bay at home. It's bad for business to lose your home opener against your border rival. O'Connell's really, really good in situations like that. And you better beat Green Bay when they don't have Micah Parsons, because when they got him last year, if Micah Parsons had stayed healthy the balance of the season, that team was going to the Super Bowl. That's how much of a difference he makes. I can argue their tight end, Tucker Kraft, is absolutely the best in the National Football League. He's back, so they're going to be a handful. Each team has something to it that leads to an argument they can win the division.
Good stuff there from Paul Allen, voice of the Vikings, K-Fan Radio.
Yeah, listen, here's the one thing. You look back, and Paulie, the Minnesota Vikings, right? The four guys that played the position a year ago, led by McCarthy at Wentz, they had 18 touchdowns and 21 interceptions. I mean, that is awful production when you're looking at it. And I'm not, listen, I don't disagree with what JJ had to say that I'm out of the Kyler Murray business, but Murray doesn't have to be brilliant. He's just got to be competitive, right? Can Kyler Murray go out there and be competitive at the quarterback position for the Minnesota Vikings? And then you say, well, they have a more favorable schedule coming into it, right? You've got questions in Detroit when you're looking at the Lions. Who are they exactly going to stop? I think they're going to score, but outside of Aiden Hutchinson, who are the Lions exactly going to stop? I agree about Green Bay, but then the little girl with the curl is basically Jordan Love. What version of Jordan Love are you going to get game in and game out? And then you get the Chicago Bears. You've talked about the rash of injuries, and Chicago was able to take advantage a year ago, very favorable schedule. Coaching matters. We see it time and time again in the NFL, right? You look at whether it be O'Connell, and then you look at the defensive coordinator. They've got really good coaching and a really talented team in Minnesota. They just don't, they need Kyler Murray not to vomit over himself. If he can go out there and do that, I'm not looking for him to be great or justify him being the first overall draft choice. Been there, done that. We're never going to see that. But can he be competitive? Can he get Addison the football? Can he get Jefferson the football? And I think he can.
Here's what Paul was talking about. They got off to that 8-3-1 start and had a big lead at Denver. And then the injury happened, and they lost their last 5 games, including the meltdown in the playoffs against the Bears. There is some anti-Green Bay stuff in the market, but the 9-7-1 run, they were a Super Bowl contender before that injury. Coming up next, a guy that's taken a lot of money in a futures market, and based on the criteria and what the league has said, I think you're throwing money away. That's coming up next on Follow the Money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Let's get hardcore NFL right now. Back on the program with Ralph Vacchiano, Fox Sports NFL reporter. He's got a great article up on the New York Giants. Harbaugh, a breath of fresh air, and he joins us on the Progressive Guest Line. Follow him on X as well. Thanks for the time, Ralph. He is a breath of fresh air. Will it result in 8 or 9 wins, though? What do you think of this Giant team?
Yeah, I think probably I would lean a little more towards the 8 side of it. It depends, really, because I put this in the article, too, that if, you're going to tell me that Malik Neighbors, their top receiver, and Cam Scatterby, their top running back, are both there on opening day and they're exactly where they were last season, pick up where they left off, and they'll stay healthy, then I might be in on them being a borderline playoff contender. But I think that's a lot to hope for those two. They both are coming back for some pretty serious knee injuries. Scatterby seems to be a little farther ahead than Neighbors at this point. But they're better than last year. They're going to be much better coached. You figure the quarterback will take another step in the right direction. But they were a 4-win team. So, you're probably looking at a team that's got 7 wins if everything goes right, maybe 8, and hopefully they stay in contention until late in December.
Ralph, down in Philadelphia, I want to ask you about Hurts. New offensive coordinator, obviously offensive line has got to stay healthy, but they've got some age on them. No A.J. Brown headache to deal with. He's up in New England now with the Patriots. What's your take on this version of the Eagles?
Yeah, I have a little more concern than I've had in past years. This team, for exactly the reasons you mentioned, Jalen Hurts is changing offensive systems again, so we don't know exactly how that's going to work. He lost his best receiver in A.J. Brown, which they seem to want to do. They think it's maybe going to be addition by subtraction, but Devonta Smith and the rookie Mekhi Lemon is Malachi Lemon or Kai, I can't think of his first name off the top of my head at the moment, but the two of them have been out with hamstring injuries for a week, and those tend to linger. So they might be a little thinner in the receiving core than we had hoped. I think they're good. Obviously, they are aging a little on the offensive line. It'd probably still be a strength, but I don't know if it'll be the same strength pass. So I've got some worries. I think they're still the class of the division, but maybe not the lock that I thought they were in recent years.
Okay, interesting. You're high on Diggs going to Washington. This team's a conundrum. From 12-5 to 5-12. What do you think of the Commanders?
Yeah, I thought that in the offseason their biggest problem was going to be they had no weapons around Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin is an underrated receiver, but he's 31, I think, coming off his first real injury-plagued year. I wasn't going to count on him, and they had nothing else. So getting Stephon Diggs was a no-brainer, but he's also 32 years old. So he had some good numbers last year, and that's encouraging, but you're counting on him to be exactly the same in an age when receivers usually aren't. So to me, Jaden Daniels transforms them back immediately into a team that you've got to think about when the playoffs come around. But boy, I'd feel a lot better if they had spent some time in the offseason giving him the weapons that he really needs, because once you get past McLaurin and Diggs, there's not a lot to like there on offense.
Ralph, is he so good? One more on Washington. Is Daniels so good that he can make guys around him better?
Well, that's the hope. And I think that's what we saw a little of in his rookie year. He caught so many people off guard with all the things he could do. Even when things weren't going right with McLaurin, and they weren't in the beginning of his rookie season, he found a way to get something out of that offense. And maybe he can do that again. Obviously, last year he had injuries to deal with, and a lot of things went wrong. They do have a new offensive coordinator, and maybe that'll change things a little bit for him from last year. But that's certainly their hope, and that's really, to me, that's everything. If you think the Commanders are going to be good, that's what you're counting on. They have everything in that basket, and the results have been mixed. 1 year, yes; the second year, no.
Are the Bills better than the Patriots?
I wouldn't have thought so before they got A.J. Brown. I thought the Patriots last year were the beneficiary of a startlingly easy schedule and a remarkably easy playoff run. A really good team, and Drake May was terrific, but maybe propped up a little bit. So I thought there would be a bit of a regression. Them going out and getting A.J. Brown, if he's healthy and happy, he gives them exactly what they need. And I think the Patriots probably push themselves a little bit back ahead of the Buffalo Bills. It's going to be close, though. As always with the Bills, Josh Allen, to me, he's the best quarterback in the league, and James Cook might be right up there as the best running back in the league. They've got pieces everywhere except receiver. They had added that number one receiver that we've all been screaming about for a couple of years. We might be talking about a team that's capable of 15, 16 wins, but without that, there's an opening for teams like the Patriots to step in front of them.
When you look at, I want to ask you about the Cowboys, Ralph. Obviously, Schottenheimer has been critical early on in camp here of the team's focus. I'm curious, when you look at Dallas, we know how good the offense can be. Do you think their defense is going to be, with the change at defensive coordinator, the guys that they brought in free agency draft, you think the Cowboys can put it all together this year?
I think there's a possibility that they could. I do love their offense like everyone else. I'm not there to know for sure about the focus. That may be just Schottenheimer trying to light a little fire underneath them, but they've got all the pieces, the line, the receivers, the running backs, the tight end, everything, and the quarterback, obviously, everything you could need for an offense that should be one of the top 2 or 3 in the entire NFL. The defense, I appreciate what they've added. I think, getting Quinn Williams and Kenny Clark, it's not Micah Parsons, but it's a good foundation for their defense. They added some nice pieces. Rashawn Gary is not a star edge rusher, but he's going to give them a little help off the edge. I think, Caleb Downs might be the steal of the draft, their first round pick. So there's a lot of things to like about their defense. It was just so bad last year that I need to see it before I'm really a big believer. I think certainly they could be, easily 20th instead of 30th in the league, but to be a championship level defense, you're going to have to prove that to me on the field before I really get behind them as a contender. I think they'll be improved in a playoff contender, but beyond that, let me see it first.
Excellent points. Follow the money, Paulie and Mark, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Ralph Vacchiano on the Progressive Guest Line, NFL reporter, Fox Sports, plethora of articles up there. Read them. Excellent job. Your power ratings, no surprise, Miami and Arizona at the bottom. Are we talking maybe only 2 or 3 wins that bad with these two bottom teams?
Well, it certainly could be that way. I think that Arizona to me is the most interesting of the teams because I look at their roster and look at the players, particularly on offense, and I love it. I love their skilled players, and I think that they could, put up a lot of points if they had a quarterback, which they don't have, at least from my eyes, they don't have. If they ever get to that point, maybe next year, they could be a real quick fix down there. But you also look with them, they have an incredibly tough schedule. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but I remember looking at it thinking, boy, those first 13 games might be hard for them to find a win. If they ever somehow a quarterback emerges from there, it could change everything. But yeah, I think with them in particular, you might be looking at 2-3 wins the entire season. And, again, if you're hoping for that top pick in the quarterback class of 2027, that might not be the worst thing in the world.
I want to ask you, Ralph, as far as the Rams go, how big is the separation for the Rams and everybody else in the NFL?
It's pretty big talent-wise. I mean, they're loaded on offense and defense. They're old, it's in key spots, which is a worry. I thought last year they might have been the most talented team going into the season, but I had a lot of worries about Matthew Stafford's back, which, anybody who's gotten into their 30s and beyond, we all know that back issues can pop up, even for professional athletes. So, I have my worry about him and Devontae Adams and a lot of other guys, how healthy they can be. But if they are all healthy talent-wise, there's a pretty big gap, I think, especially if they're going to add Aaron Donald, and it certainly looks like that's going to be the case. They're going to be hard to beat, and certainly they're going to be hard to beat at home. They have a terrible schedule and a terrible travel schedule. They're just putting up ridiculous amounts of miles. I know a lot of that is, skewed a little by their international game, but overall, it's still a lot for an older team. So, maybe we're not looking at 15 wins, 16 wins, even 14 wins, but, they're a team that in key spots, if they can get the rest they need and stay healthy, they're going to be hard to beat as the season goes along.
Thanks for a few minutes. Great to talk to you, and enjoy the rest of training camp, sir. Have a good one.
Hey, my pleasure, guys. Anytime.
Thanks, Ralph.
Vacchiano, Fox Sports. He's right about the schedule, and I bet Arizona under 4.5. Not only they lost 14 of their last 15 games last year. They couldn't stop a nosebleed, and he's right. That first, how about the plus 250 on the last team to win a game? That's another one too. I mean, it's a brutal schedule. Oh yeah.
But he's not wrong when you look at their skill positions. The problem is they don't have a quarterback. I mean, with Jacoby Brissett, and I like Jacoby, he's more of a backup quarterback than a starter. But you look at it, Chargers, Seahawks, Niners, Giants, Lions, Rams, Broncos, Cowboys, Seahawks, Rams, Chiefs, Commanders. I mean, and then Eagles. And they throw in, you've got a late bye. Week 14 is their bye week, Paulie.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fiasco. Oh, it's bad.
That is a disaster.
Speaking of Brissett, there's news what they're going to do Thursday against the Raiders. A ton of NFL news. Who's in, who's out, line moves, and the schedule's out in the NBA. The numbers are out as well. Straight ahead, follow the money, VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Our weekly visit with owner, CEO of Circa, Golden Gate and the D, Derek Stevens. Time to talk contests and everything going on at Circa. You guys, you always, what a team you have. You're always thinking of something, creativity. So whether it's Slottapalooza, the night starts here at the gate. Now you're rolling out, was it Miss USA bikini pageant, which you had at Stadium Swim?
God, this is that funny. It all came together so nicely. The Bet Bash people, think about this. Bet Bash had their Stadium Swim event from 5 to 8 p.m.
Oh.
And then we had booked this Miss Grand USA event back a year or two ago.
Really?
At 8 o'clock, and they had to take over the whole screen. Well, you know what it's like when you have something to Stadium Swim from a certain time to the ending closing time. Never closes; it keeps going. So So yeah, it was a bonus for all those bet bashers.
Here's one picture. Go up on the Instagram. Check them out. It's Circa. The bodies are banging. I mean, it's just incredible. Phenomenal. Coming down the runway, and they're walking right up to people. If you have cabanas, you're right about the timing. Incredible.
Timing was unbelievable. This is
yeah.
all about, I thought, oh, man, this is going to be great. You know, the reason why the Bet Bash guys did it then, 5 to 8, was because it was tying up. They're going up there because it was the Hall of Fame game. Like Hall of Fame game, you usually get about 14 points, maybe.
Yeah. Right.
Now we got a shootout, game of the year already, that type of thing, and then boom, right into the bikini contest.
So where are we at with the contest, and how you feeling about pace? We're over 8,000 now for Circa Survivor.
Yeah, I mean we're tracking pretty nice. I mean over 8,000 Circa Survivors, so that's trending. We're up about. So far, 60% up. So it's trending well. I don't think we'll keep that pace up, but certainly.
What are they saying back there?
Everybody's got an opinion.
I got that. I heard 25,000 yesterday.
Boy, that'd be something.
That?
I don't know. Can you believe it?
No.
Oh, my God. I can't believe it.
No. And the documentary's been great. I still have PTSD from the last episode. But what happened with the Rams on Thursday, Williams fumbles at the 1, and the DeMarcado dropping the ball at the 1-yard line. What are your thoughts on the documentary?
Documentary's been real good. I mean, it had a lot of comments. I mean, the episode 4 drops tomorrow.
Yep.
It drops. It's the Thanksgiving Day episode, which
phenomenal.
Which is going to have a lot of content. That's for sure. So, yeah, no, documentary's been good. For people that have watched it before, they kind of know how we play out. Kind of summarize the season. But for the people that watch it for the first time, they kind of get a little FOMO, which is what we want. We want people to come on out and participate.
Watch the episodes of VSiN Live also at YouTube. Catch up if you're behind. And get to CircleLasVegas.com, plan your trip, get your proxies, and buy the NFL schedules that are out as well. Did the same person hit 2 large jackpots in the high limit?
I saw your text earlier, Paul, and I didn't have time today to go verify that. I saw the one.
They sent it out on social. Yeah.
The same person?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a Dragon Link, and then he hit something else. I don't know what it was.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, that is.
You know the person? Or
yes, I do.
Has that happened before?
I spent a little time with him when he got into town. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Were they both 6-figure hits? Or just under?
I met before the first hit happened.
Okay.
But we kind of knew the hits were going to come. When this fella's in town, we got to get ready.
Oh, nosebleeds. Big time.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of excitement.
Okay, excellent. That is all right. Phenomenal.
Enough coin in. That was more than the coin in on that same day of the D. More coin in than the entire casino in one day. This player.
Oh my God, that's impressive.
I thought if we're ever going to have,
what are we talking a push? Can you?
We're it's up there. I mean, what do those get up to? Like 1,250 or something?
Is that right?
Some of them get up that high, but I think
video poker for sure.
But I thought we had a high chance of hitting the the $1 million, and now we got that $2 million progressive. So I thought, okay, it might hit this weekend.
Is there a bet to be made for a future in the American League? Your Tigers are only a game and a half back. Cleveland's only 2 back. Baltimore's only 3 back. Toronto, given up for dead, only 3.5 back. All these teams fighting it out for the third wild card. I mean, and your Tigers, the offense has been incredible.
Yeah, I was out to dinner with Nicole on Sunday. We go to dinner, nice place, with Nico's over at Durango.
Yeah.
And then afterward, we're kind of walking off the meal. I stumble into the sports book. I go, give me the odds on the American League for divisions. And, the White Sox were like, what were they, plus 120 or something? And then Cleveland was, number 2. Tigers were plus 550. I go, plus 550. They got Melton. He's the best pitcher in baseball. They got Job's coming back.
Yep.
Job could be something.
Yeah.
They've got the best run differential in the American League. So I took the Tigers at plus 550. to win the Central. I thought there was some value there.
Down to 4-1.
It is down to 4-1?
Yeah.
No kidding.
3.5 back.
Yeah.
The White Sox can't win a road game.
Yeah. I mean, and a big series this week.
Huge.
Tigers have 6 games at home, 3 against Cleveland, 3 against Chicago.
That's right. Cleveland has your number for whatever reason. Okay, good. But this is just wild how many teams are in this, especially in the National League, too, with even you can't count out Miami and in San Diego fighting it out with Philly and Arizona for the other wild card.
Right.
Great.
Yeah, NL West is interesting, too.
Yes, it is.
Got a little more interesting. Obviously, Dodgers have such a massive lead, but it's sure interesting to see the Diamondbacks and the Padres.
But maybe they both get in. That's right. How about this? In all your years watching and covering sports and doing this at Circa, Dodgers, you're joined here $1.30 to win the National League. Minus 130 to win the NL.
I bet the field.
Yeah. I think you have to. Are they even going to get a top 2 seed? They've lost 8 or 9.
That's just it's tough to win these series, and obviously the Dodgers are very clearly the heavy favorite. But they got better with Skubal, obviously. But yeah, minus 130 seems a little stiff to me.
That's outrageous. I know. Did you, growing up, did you get into card collecting?
As a little kid, I did. I did as a little kid, where I loved it, and I was a Topps guy because I liked the bubble gum.
Yeah.
But I also lived in Detroit, so going across from Detroit, they had Fleer.
Yes.
So I was Fleer and Topps, and I collected, and scratched it off, and I got a few full sets put away. But not my sets were not from the collecting perspective. They were trying to make sure I got all, from 1 to 560 or whatever it was, and all that. So I would say if I had to grade my cards today, they'd be mostly in okay condition. Nothing shabby, but nothing like grade A. My rookie cards, this will date me, was like Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, Dale Murphy, those type of cards.
Yeah.
That was probably not in the that's not where the sweet spot is, because card collecting now, the sweet spot's like probably 10 years older than that, or in the last 10 years, how it's just gone crazy with these limited drops and things like that. So,
have you been approached, or have you thought of getting in this and taking a look?
Yeah. I would tell you, I've learned a lot. Even though I wasn't very good at school, I'm a learning man.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot watching this Lucky Box.
That's
I'll
right.
tell you what.
Good point.
This Lucky Box, I see these other guys, like I see Barry from downtown. Barry, what are you doing? Oh man, I got to get one. I got one. He's up there. He's always got to get something. Like, I can't believe all these people that are very passionate collectors. It's very cool.
You could corner the market on a lot of this stuff. You have a lot more money than Kevin O'Leary. And if a Cooper Flag's going for $5 million, like if you can just buy up a certain amount of cards with one individual, and you can name your price then.
That's interesting. Kevin O'Leary's coming here in a couple weeks.
What's he doing?
He's going to do a seminar with John and Pete Najarian. We're going to have him on VSiN with you guys.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful's coming.
Mr. Wonderful.
Oh, I'd love to talk to him.
Yeah.
He's all over this. He's buying all these. He got the Ohtani card.
Yeah.
For like $12 million. Right. He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
You could pick his brain about doing this.
I would. I enjoy Shark Tank.
Yes, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Isn't it something that Cuban, if you combine all the sharks, Cuban's worth more money than all of them combined?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, he had the Mavericks. I mean, pretty good investment.
Good haul.
Yeah.
All right. Good to see you. Any predictions? Anything you want to promote?
No, just I'm happy about what's going on with the millions and all this. I would say if you're coming into town to sign up, make sure you book an appointment with your proxy, and make sure you book a hotel room. I know it's going to get tight.
No doubt. CircleLasVegas.com. Book your trip today. Get the NFL schedules online as well, and get in the contest. And we would love to interview Mr. Wonderful.
All right.
Kevin O'Leary, if you can set that up. Derek Stevens with the weekly visit. Get on down to Circa and have a great time. What we're betting in pocket coming up next. Try to make it 4 in a row in Major League Baseball. And the Moose had an easy winner as well. He's on a ton of NFL win totals. Straight ahead, follow the money. VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're out.
Can the Rays go 9-0 on this road trip? 7-0 so far. Like them again tonight, but a winner last night. Fastball Freddie didn't have it again, but it was the offense that was awesome in the 8th inning and got to that Sacramento bullpen. That's the winner with the graded place. Titans money line, $1.50. This has moved significantly. There's 5s now. Thursday night in San Francisco. We got Levis. We got Trubisky. We got Salah, who's 10-3, career in the preseason against the Niner team. MASH unit, all the injuries. Long hair, don't care. A great prop at BetMGM. Notre Dame to have more wins than Miami. Minus 120, it's a 3-way. November 7th, they're laying 7 at home against Miami. Giants under 7.5. I agree with Ralph. Guess we had on earlier. They'll be improved, but I think 6-7 wins. Best case scenario for the G-Men. Dolphins under 4.5. They're going to be awful. Brutal schedule and likely playing from behind a lot of games. All they have is Achane. And I know the coach said you're going to get a heavy dose of him. Longest touchdown from scrimmage at Caesars Will Hill, under 95.5 yards. And will a quarterback throw for 500 yards in a game? No, minus 115. Hasn't happened in 2 years. I think it's only happened 22 times by an NFL quarterback. The odds are with me on that one with a fun sweat that's also up at William Hill. This has since moved big time. It is over 50% at Kelce, 3 units on the Odyssey to win Best Picture. Again, the update, the Academy watched it in 70 millimeter, and one of the voters and Academy members walked out saying, good luck to everyone else who's releasing a movie. I concur. Penn State over 8.5 wins. Sixers under 51.5 wins. It's going to take a long time to gel. And like Frank Isola said, the deep Eastern Conference, no more tanking. There's no incentive to tank. So everyone's going for it now as well. Dylan Harper, most improved, and 6th man of the year, 10-1 and 7-1. And the new plays, got to back the Rangers again tonight. Playing good ball. They'd be a playoff team if it started today. They've won 5 of 6. The Angels are awful. Worst record in Major League Baseball. It's Ryan Johnson going tonight. 2nd worst ERA in MLB as well. And get busy living or get busy dying. Texas has got to take advantage of this. Angels, A's, Nats, Angels. That's the schedule coming up. Nick Martinez has been great. He did have 1 clunker 2 starts ago, but was awesome in his last start. And we're fading Barnett and the A's again, and Tampa should be able to get the bats going. And Martinez has been so good. $1.70 in that one. And Tank Dell at Caesars in Will Hill. We talked about comeback player of the year. Yeah. How you're wasting money on Donald, who's the 3rd or 4th choice to win it based on the new criteria they came out in 2024 after Flacco got it and they robbed Hamlin. Remember how graphic and gruesome that injury was, and players were crying on the field. Dell, 50-1, comeback player of the year. Good luck.
As far as the one trade last night, we were all over late. We were celebrating the Malusis household late as he got that 8 spot late for the Tampa Bay Rays. So 16 runs, went over the 10. Nice. Peralta wasn't terrible. He just wasn't brilliant for Tampa Bay. But we go over the number of 10, so that was one that graded out and cashed last night. As far as those that are pending right now as we move ahead, there are a couple things. We hit upon yesterday, Giants over the 7.5. Paulie and I are going to go head-to-head on this one. I'm going to think that they can get to 8 or 9 wins, and I like the Giants on Saturday against Minnesota. Tiger doesn't change his stripes. I would take the Giants over the Vikings in their first preseason game. I think Harbaugh wants to set a tone early on here. Give me the Jets over 5.5 wins. I think it's going to look a lot better. Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Reich is the offensive coordinator. It's going to look better offensively for the Jets. Give me over 5.5. I like the Rams over the 11.5 wins. Maybe they don't win 15 games this year, but I think they're going to win 12 or 13. too talented, less injuries. Paulie and I are in agreement on this. I like the Atlanta Falcons. Positive coaching change with Kevin Stefanski taking over for Raheem Morris. I know they have massive questions at quarterback, but give me the over 6.5 wins for Bijan Robinson, the Atlanta Falcons. And then the Baltimore Ravens with Jesse Minter now as their head coach. I'm going to go under the 11.5. As far as plays for tonight, a lot of baseball when you look at it. Number one, I like the Mets tonight at plus 114 against the Atlanta Falcons, against the Atlanta Braves, the Atlanta Falcons, against the Atlanta Braves with Nolan McLean on the mound tonight for the New York Mets. They've been playing better, 6-1 in their last 7 games. Braves coming off kind of a little bit of a lost weekend against the Yankees. They lost last night against the New York Mets. Give me McLean. Starters matter. Give me McLean and the Mets with the way that they're vibing, plus 114 against the Bravos. We touched upon it earlier. I'm going to take the White Sox money line, minus $1.54 against the Cincinnati Reds. Positive pitching matchup there. Chicago's been really good at home this season. Going to go back to it, even though Martinez has been really good for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going to go over 10.5 out in Sacramento between the Rays and the Oakland and the Sacramento Athletics. And then as far as for comeback player of the year, I'm going to go Malik Neighbors, 12-1. Positive news, they didn't start training camp on the PUP list for the New York Giants. I think he's going to be there week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. A lot of buzz around Isaiah Likely in Giants camp, how much he's going to be used in that offense, going to be a go-to guy for Jackson Dart. There's nobody, and I mean nobody, that has the skill set comparable to Malik Neighbors in that receiving room for the New York Giants. 12-1, new rules and all instituted in 2024. Give me Malik Neighbors, comeback player of the year in the National Football League at 12-1.
Sign up for VSiN Pro today. Get both our NFL and college football betting guides packed with team previews, power ratings, proven betting systems, and best bets from everyone. Every host, every guest. Real-time betting splits, AI-powered prop projections, 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. The Matt Humans article is fire. Great job on the depth charts of every team NFL preseason. Also what transpired last year, week 1 preseason. Games averaged 45 points a game and some trends. Road dogs, 2.5 points or fewer. 75 and 38 ATS run. It's up there as well. And the Mackin and trends are so good with all these teams going back. Home road splits. Streaks like Atlanta, 5 and 25 ATS run. Carolina, 1 and 8 ATS run. Houston, 15 and 3 under run. Do more of this Thursday and Friday on the show. Oh, it's excellent. And Dallas, 2 and 18 straight up on the road in the preseason. 7 straight overs at home. Check it out. Get it up there. Start today, just $9.99. Get a full year and save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Head to VSiN.com/subscribe now. VSiN.com/subscribe now. You're killing me because I mentioned I had the 86 Jordan Fleer rookie. Forget that.
Yeah.
I had the whole frickin' set. I got the whole set that I lost. God knows what that's worth. Most of the cards were mint. The Jordan was not. And then I had 3 Jordan Upper Deck rookies. Who knows? You moved so many times you lost them. But you never thought this stuff would be worth stuff. Would be worth this much money back in the day.
Wait,
and COVID changed everything. I mean, he's like yeah, go ahead.
But Paulie, I asked you the question. I go, when did you lose them? And you said anywhere between 2012 and 2015.
Yeah.
At that point in time, you knew the Jordan rookie was worth something.
So,
like you didn't lose it in 89. Like you lost it in 12 to 15. Like Jordan, greatest player of all time. You know that rookie's worth something. You know, this and that. I can't believe you lost it.
I had the Nick corner. I was Debbie Downer because it had a bad corner. The Cooper Flag card was pulled last night in Rhode Island. It expected to go for $5 million. The Mavs put a bounty on the card that they offered 2 premium season tickets for 32 years, a game-worn flag jersey, a post-game photo with the star, a private photo shoot with the trophy, expenses paid, road trip to Boston, and more. I mean, I'll take the cash, especially if it's $5 million.
I would take the money.
Oh, my God, it's crazy. I can't believe what these cards are going for. We got to get Kevin O'Leary in a couple of weeks because he just spent $12 million on that Ohtani card.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather take the money. Give me the $5 million. The Dallas Mavericks can the seating, everything like that. 32 years. I'll take the $5 million in cash. That's fine. Even with all the experience, the meet and greet with Cooper Flag, the signed jersey, pictures, whatever it might be. Give me the cash.
Damn right. Mike Palm, in studio tomorrow. Who knows? Every day there's something with the WNBA. Rough fouls, white privilege. It's out of control with what's going on in the WNBA. And also Pat Forty from Sports Illustrated on the program. Don't go anywhere. Tim Murray and Matt Humans are next. Jared Smith is on. Jeff Sherman, odds maker here at Circa. Dustin Sweetelson takes over, cashing out at 11 p.m. And tomorrow, start your morning with VSiN by the Books. Kicks things off at 7 a.m. Eastern. Great show. Good job by the crew. Moose, awesome. Great guests. Thanks to everyone. We'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned. Keep it in. VSiN. Cash some tickets.